It's March 2022, and at BHSpringSolutions, we have been on a quest, day and night. You might say for the perfect high power, the perfect carry high power. We have the new on the market Springfield SA35, the Gersan MCP35, and FN has a new Wonder Gun, and we have been on a search ourselves for several years for the perfect high power, the perfect carry high power, and we are going to report and shine some light on where we're at in March 2022. I'm Mark Allen, BHSpringSolutions LLC and BHSpringSolutions.com High Power University. Let's get started. And so all of the excitement about the Springfield SA35 and the Gersan MCP35, and FN has a new single action semi-auto that there's been quite a bit of talk about, and I wanted to share with you a story from my own personal collection and carry practices, I guess you'd say. And the story kind of sounds like actually some BH veterans. BH veterans are our customers and our friends, and that's BH terminology for our customers and friends. And this is a story we've heard a lot, but I don't think I've ever told it personally quite this way, so it's going to sound a little bit like an echo. But maybe 10 years ago, I purchased that exact handgun, and that is an FM95 Detective model. It's about a 3.8 inch barrel, basically a shortened barrel, shortened slide steel frame version of, and this would be most closely related to the Browning High Power Mark III or the FN Mark III's model, having the drop safety sear lever. Did come with ambi safety and dovetail sights, so a lot of Mark III advancements and things. But this handgun had some weaknesses and had some downsides, and because we are right now announcing BHSpringSolutions' newest product just this month, and it's first available for FM Detective models. This really completed our advancements for this model for carry optimization, and so this is kind of a story of something I had in my safe that as all the new high powers hit the market, I just thought, I'd see, well, how does one of these with BH's advancements kind of compare. And so last month we announced BH Gold, and there's my own personal high power. I've recently been accused by one of our telephone consultants of having a gold fetish, because BH gold plated parts are showing up in a lot of our videos lately. And for those of you who have seen our previous videos, the real weaknesses of the FM Detective, at least for me anyway, were all mainly in the slide, and that would be the barrel, the recoil spring guide rod, and the recoil springs. And BHSpringSolutions' newest one-piece maintenance-free lifetime part, and that is our new BHAdvanced recoil spring guide rod for FM Detective models. We had already improved the FM Detective barrel. One of the downsides, really, for me, was the original barrel here had the original kind of humped feed ramp, which is bad for feeding that kind of ammunition specifically. And so BHSpringSolutions, we made our BHAdvanced Elite Expert barrel with the 11-degree crown and the loaded chamber visualization and ejection port. And you can see how much easier to feed that radius around the chamber looks, feed ramp as well. And typically on the compared to the Argentine models, our barrels are definitely an accuracy improvement as well. So we already had the barrels prior to now handled. We had been making recoil springs because those do have a shorter life in the detective model with the shorter barrel. And then our new one-piece recoil spring guide rod that we have just released, and that recoil spring guide rod, I'm going to show that to you here real quickly. There's no spring inside, so there's nothing in this to wear out like on the traditional recoil spring guide rods. And I think I showed this in another video. This is one of BHSpringSolutions' early prototypes. This is one of our late production and kind of the reason why we discontinued production of this guide rod as a product. Look at how far or not the ball in the circle is protruding. The one on the left is one of our early prototypes. The one on the right is one of our last production, and really the reason why we discontinued production of this. That hole, which needs to be circular, is drilled on a radius, and most recently the Gersan, we identified they have this problem worse. That ball is protruding even more than here. This is serviceable. This still works fine, and it's good and functional because this subject does have some margin. This ball is ready to pop out, and we actually did have that occur on a couple of our own that we rejected, and near one of our last productions. And so we have now, there you see the one-piece guide rod. And here's the secret of this technology is we use the natural radius of the barrel cam lug to replace what you don't see here in our guide rod there. And what that does is you still have the ball, you see that. That is going to put pressure on the slide stop, keeps the slide stop in the down position until the magazine is empty. But the recoil spring, in this case the recoil springs, because the detective models had a spring over a spring design on a full-length guide rod, the spring is putting the pressure on the ball on the slide stop. So there's no need for a spring inside of here behind that ball, because the new design of the guide rod head allows the recoil spring to double as the pressure on the slide stop. So basically, this guide rod was 1, 2, the ball 3, the spring 4. So 4 components and non-serviceable, and our guide rod is intended to never be disassembled, never be serviced, and it is considered non-disassemblable in all respects, and it should be a lifetime component because there's no internal spring in this design to wear out. Of course, we've been making the replacement springs for the FM Detective now for several years. We've been the only maker of the springs for this particular model. Definitely the only maker of a barrel replacement for this model. And now one of the other Achilles heels, we have brought our own design advancement, and that is compliments started with our Chief Weapons and Modifications designer, Leon Hubert. And so there you go. Now, the advantages for me in this handgun, other than the obvious, you can see size, very nice, compact. The high power is naturally thinner than your polymer frame slides typically can be. And take FN's new Wonder Gun that they just announced. It's 40 ounces unloaded. This FM Detective model with 16 rounds fully loaded with 147 grain hollow point carry ammunition is an ounce lighter than the new FN product is empty. And when the new FN product is fully loaded, it's 49 ounces. when this is fully loaded, it's 39 ounces. So 10 ounces less carry weight and reduction in size and reduction in dimensional, length and width, and also thickness, for better carry comfort. So anyway, this is something that I decided to go ahead and do. The finish compared to the kind of glossy black that the Argentines did. This is BHSpringSolutions Armor Black, Armor Black over Armor Black. And then, of course, our SFS system, which allows hammer forward carry. So there is off safe, there is on safe. We carry in this position, and typically around in the chamber. And extended slide stop with the SFS. Got the ambi mag release. And yeah, one of the really nice little extra things about this new guide rod that we have for the FM detectives, along with being a lifetime part, the high powers recoil spring guide rod, the traditional, and the other models for like the Arcus 94C, which was basically a shortened version of the full size version, as well as the FM detective model. These things can be installed upside down, and if you do install one of these upside down, it will accept the slide stop, and you can actually load it, you can shoot it, and you will destroy you'll destroy the guide rod at a minimum. And this guide rod is also designed to overcome the chance that you could have an oops and install the guide rod upside down. So we have this is a self-installing guide rod, believe that or not. I'm going to show you. This is oriented correctly, exactly right for install on the gun. But when we install this guide rod, we have those two tines there on the front. What we do is we want to put one tine, so it's partially seated in the barrel cam lug. Now we'll put the slide on the gun and just go back this far, and you hear the click. That click was the recoil spring guide rod self-installing. Now the cool thing, let's try it upside down. In other words, if we do this very same maneuver, and we are exactly upside down. Well, this guide rod it just won't let you install it that way, as you see. However, when you have installed it partially and you have oriented it correctly, it does self-install, and there you go. So this is kind of my own personal recent version of kind of something new to me, and admittedly this kind of got drug out of the safe. Have Mepro Light night sights on it. I do very much prefer the feel of a gold-plated trigger. Really reminds me of a lot of my father's Browning firearms and Browning 22 target pistols. It is a nice relationship with the finger. I'm very, very glad that we've started doing those. And folks, thanks for letting us share this with you. The BHSpringSolutions or BHAdvanced recoil spring guide rod for FM detective models is now available for immediate shipping at BHSpringSolutions.com. And we are very, very happy to announce this. And it's a nice advancement and upgrade for guys with FM detective models. Folks, thanks for watching. I'm Mark Allen for BHSpringSolutions LLC and BHSpringSolutions.com.